Okay, guys, what's up? How are you? I'm back. It's me, your boy Hebot, and we're back with another exciting episode, hopefully, of Toys in My Closet. And as a request I got from someone, here they have it, the My Hero Academia action figure line from Mcfarlane Toys, based off his new series of 22 points of articulated moving parts action figures. And I got this line originally, as you guys heard me say. And when I got the first set that I got, had a lot of QC issues. Now, I tried to get a second batch, which I did, and these are it, to give it a second chance. And to be honest, to my surprise, it's a lot better quality control on this batch than I had with the first issue batch of the figures that I bought originally. So, without further ado, here you are. You have the 4 figures in the first series. My Hero Academia boxes there in the window box and bubble set, following the same motif. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to talk about each character real quick, showcase them, show them what they have to, what they give and what they have to offer as fast as possible, and we'll go from there. So give me a chance, because I've never really watched My Hero Academia, but I made it a point to go and watch some episodes from the beginning of season 1, and I watched the first 3 episodes, and I have kind of a cool understanding now of what's going on, what is the series about. Yes, obviously I don't know everything, so I'm not going to sit here and say I do, and that's not what I'm trying to say for those who think I'm trying to be disrespectful and that I'm not really maybe caring. It's just I wanted to do the review knowing that I could have some type of knowledge of what these characters are and the universe and the anime, to show respect, obviously, to the ones who come and view my channel. Because I had someone kind of hurt my feelings not too long ago with the Doom review, saying that I didn't know anything, that it was a good figure but a shitty review, and I really took that personal, because that was never my intent with anything I've done in my channel since day one, whether it's video game related or action figure collectible related. So let's dive right in, one figure at a time. Let's go. Here we are, Izuku Midoriya, or Midoriya. Midoriya is the main character in the anime series. And Midoriya is basically a young teenage boy in high school. And this high school is a high school for kids that have special needs and powers, which are basically almost in the same vein of like X-Men, or in the same vein as Justice League without the school, obviously, because they didn't have a school, or like the movie Sky High, but done in anime form. And I have to say, the anime is very heartfelt. It has a lot of positive messaging that is trying to show and to uplift maybe those who feel different, who feel like they don't fit in or never got the respect that they deserved. Midoriya is basically 90% of all of us. I, myself, consider myself to be Midoriya, what he is in the anime. Midoriya basically is trying to find out what his quirk is. And quirk is basically what power that he has of a superhero to become a superhero. And he's going to the school, and he's writing notes from all other superheroes to try to figure out a way to perfect it, because he wants to become the greatest superhero of all time in history. And his idol is All Might, which we'll see in the review, in unboxing and showcasing, right? So Midoriya is done very well, and his paint job is done very well. I feel like he might be a little bit too big based off the anime, next to others like All Might and stuff, but I think it was done purposely. Here's his head, and it's very has a lot of big of emotions and anger. And so Midoriya, for what he found out based off what they told him, was he doesn't have a quirk. So he's trying to figure out how can he still become a superhero without a quirk, because you can't become a superhero without a quirk, which is a specialty power, a specific power. Now, I haven't gotten far enough to see and know how he gets his powers. As you see here, he has translucent green lightning effects around his hands, which obviously has to do with a power, I'm almost certain. And his hands seem to be kind of big, but it's the way they draw them. You see, he has a lot of nice paint work done in like a teal green on his hair as well. It's like greenish with black. Now, he comes with this extra portrait, as you see here, but it's very hard to take it out from here because a lot of the times when you take off the head, the peg from the head tends to pop out with the peg on the head. So what I did was I snugged lightly so that the peg would stay on the part here of the neck. The peg tends to stuck in here, and then you can't really swap it out. So it was very hard for me to do that at first. So I chose to, I'm just going to leave it off. But this is what he comes with. An extra portrait, that is his face there. As you can see, where he's a lot more happier and calm with his little freckles there on the side. Done very animated style, very nicely done. And then he has a set of 4 hands with 2 sets of hands in 2 forms. His first set here is fists, closed fists, for punching action, obviously. And then, obviously, his second set, as you see here, is his hands open like he's going to infuse his electrical powers to, unleash his wrath or his powers to the world. Now, the anime is actually quirky, but it has a nice serious tone in nature as well. A nice messaging to positive for kids that out there that maybe don't feel like they belong. Here's the My Hero Academia round stand with the symbol there. Simple but nice. Nice that it comes with it. And his articulation is pretty fairly decent for his head. It goes down this much. It goes up. And as you can see, his hair just popped out. You see? That's because it's a sliding, like as you see there. It comes right off and comes right on. It's not, it's pretty good. But be aware that when you move his head, that's what happens. He got a little tilt here, a little tilt there. Thing is, this piece here, it's hard, and that's supposed to be like his mask. So it's hard, and it's very hard. It stays, like, it gets in the way of the articulation. As for his hands, obviously they go up all the way, like this. They pop out too, but not badly, not too bad. These lightning things effects are glued. Goes all the way around 160 degrees. He has swivel. He has the, double elbow, which moves, but it's kind of hard because of the effect he has in his hands. You can't really move it all the time. Then he has the hand peg that moves, and in this case he can move it up like this and down, depending on the position he has it. He has the torso range movement. He can move to the left, tilt to the right. You see that whole piece is moving. It's 2 separate pieces. And he also has the movement where you can move his hips, but it's hard. It's very hard on this figure for some reason. His waist swivel. You can see that he does have it because that's how I moved him there. You see? But it's very hard on him. So you got to kind of loosen it. And then Oh, there goes his hand popped out. That's okay. He does have the butterfly joint thing here that goes left and right and a little bit up and down. And the crotch area by the thighs. He has movement. He has the double knees. And then he has the peg on the shoes that you can either put side by side. He moves left and right. Moves, oh boy. Moves left and right. Sorry about that. Moves left and right, as you see here. And then, I have this one where I can move it upwards, downwards, and then it has toe pivot. Toe pivot. Let me see if I put. There you go. It has toe pivot. Not a nice detail, as you see. With him. He looks good. So, I'll put him on the stand. Give him a dynamic pose. He doesn't have anything else as a ways of, as a ways of accessories, so to speak. I kind of had him this way, like this. With his legs. Boop. Kind of had him like this. Boom. There you have him. Holy cow. So as far as packaging here, as you can see, has a picture of his anime form, Izuku Midoriya. Then you see it has the My Hero Academia on the top, a nice portrait of other characters in the anime. Falling on the top. On the side, My Hero Academia with the same theme and color, yellow and orange. Izuku Midoriya. Funimation is the people who, I think, bring out the anime. Mcfarlane towards there. And then the back, as you can see there, it says, My Hero Academia. Top. Also available, and it tells you who it is. Portrait of him. And you see the other characters here. 22 points, 7-inch figure. In this case, he's not 7 inches. He's probably I want to say 5. So, package is simple, but it's nice. And like I said, that's what he came with as far as accessories. And he's pretty good. He's pretty nice. So, I'll move it right along and check out the next figure in the line. Let's see. Next we have All Might. And All Might is basically, based off the series, the greatest superhero of all time. With the biggest and baddest powers ever. And All Might, as you can see, as far as scale, he's a pretty big figure. He's definitely close to 7 inches, I would say. And All Might, for me, looks very cool. He looks very charming. He is definitely very anime style. You see, the sculpting in his face is done very well. Very, very well done. I have a little bit of nose yellow chip there, but the hair is painted really good and with washes on it, and his face looks really anime style with the blackout eyes. For me, he looks like a wrestler, one of those wrestlers from those muscles from back in the day. The cartoon and toy line. Even though they were in pink, but you guys, I think, know what I mean. Like those Mexican wrestlers. They're very colorful. And so, All Might basically is Midoriya's his Midoriya's idol, and he actually becomes Midoriya's mentor. He actually is the one who trains him. How and why, I will not say. I don't want to spoil it for you. But he decides to become his mentor for good reason. And he helps Midoriya become stronger and more powerful. And there's some other stuff in there in between that I can't really say for spoiler reasons, for those who might be interested in watching the anime and haven't watched it yet. That All Might kind of knows the secret, or the answer, not really secret, the answer, on how to become a superhero, even though you don't have a quirk, which is a power. And that's what, he helps Midoriya find out. So as you can see, he's a nice blue with red with the whites, detailed all over, big hands, very kind of girthy with the yellow, and the big hands there, his chopping hands look like in a fist. Same thing with his yellow gauntlet, his belt line with the eyes, his waist area, as you see there, and then his pants, and then his boots, obviously, with the white in the bottom, missing paint there. And I noticed that this figure came with a lot of paint blemishes, but I think it's because since he's such a big figure, when they put him in packaging, it must have rubbed off on in the packaging, because he seems to be the one that comes with the most paint application problems. So as far as articulation, he has down that much, up that much, left and right, and he obviously has wonderful tilt. No hindrance because he has nothing around his neck. Then as far as his hands, goes up that much. Then he has a butterfly like this, like so, and one that goes up and down as well. He has a single elbow joint cut. Then he has obviously the ball joint where he turns the hand, and then obviously where he can hinge it this way, hinge it that way. Either way. Then as far as the torso, he has the torso cut there in the top area, and then he has the swivel in the waist, as you see. And he can hyperextend back this much, and he can forward crunch that much. Left, right, tilting, very nice. For a big figure, he moves really well. He feels sturdy too. He has swivel on the thigh and the top there. And he has double jointed knee. And then, the ball peg moves left and right, up and down. And he also has rockers, which Midoriya has, but it's a little harder because he has those long, higher boots. But he does have, it's just hard to do it. And then he has the toe pivot, as you see there. So he comes with his stand. They don't come with a lot of weapons because they're more about the powers with their physical hands. The My Hero Academia stand with the logo, and then you see here he has 4 sets of hands with 2 sets of one pose. So meaning 2 fisted hands, obviously, with the fist there, as you see, and then 2 open-handed, like he's gonna slap the living daylight out of you. And it's sculpted really well, really, really well. It's done really well. So his packaging, real quick. Let's go look at it again. Open bubble. His anime cell there. All Might. And again, same thing. My Hero Academia. All Might on the side. My Hero on the side. His depiction. The rest of the figures in the line. Obviously. My Hero Academia on the top. Like so. 22 points of moving parts. And 7-inch figure. So, the motif continues. Looking really great. I think he's a really awesome fig. In the way as well. He's just bigger. But he's the one that has like the least, even though he's supposed to be the cooler one and the more popular one, I think he's the one that really doesn't impress us, as much as the other ones because of the lack of detail. He's more simplified in design, and I think that's what it is. He just looks like, a superhero like Captain America or like, or like a wrestler but without weapons. So his powers is that he's ultimate. He's like super strong. So let's move it right along and let's take a look at our next figure. So next we have none other than Tomura Shigaraki. Now Shigaraki is the most aesthetically interesting one out of all of them because he looks really weird, really Japanese anime-esque, in design as far as the look and aesthetics. But he also is pleasantly surprising. He's very creepy. He looks like something that you would probably encounter in the world of like Silent Hill. So as you can see, his face sculpted is pretty sick. He's got his blue hair with a face in the front, covering his real face, which looks like he's flat. He has no face, and what would be the end of the wrist of that hand is actually looks like a nose in his beak. Then he got a bunch of hands on his shoulders, on his neck, choking him out with some pipes, with another hand in his back, holding on top of his, like it's controlling his brain with these tubes. Hands on his biceps, hands on his shin guard, his wrists, and then around the torso area, like holding him in the back and the waist. So it's really weird and scary looking, or creepy, if you will. But the figure, the way he was designed, even though he's lanky and simplistic, because he doesn't have a lot of color and, simplistic in look. Well, I shouldn't say simplistic because this is out there. This is really, creative, if you will. You know what I mean? He's the figure that feels the most polished, I guess is the best word, as far as the material, how he moves. So first of all, his head is wonderful because his neck is on the ball peg too. And it's separate, but it moves really smooth, buttery smooth. There you go. You can look down. Oh, look, the ball peg came out. But you can pop it right in. It moves up that much. If you just hold it like so, there you go. See? Then his head tilts to the left, tilts to the right, moves left and right. Then his hand, obviously on the side, goes up all that much. It goes around and in a 180 degrees motion. His bicep is there, the bicep swivel, hidden very well by the hand. His arm has a double hinge elbow that moves very well, and then his wrist is the ball peg, as you can see. It hinges back and forth very well and goes in circle. And you can move the ball peg to the other direction as well. And then also on top of he has the butterfly, as you will. You see the butterfly joint that goes forward and back, and then up and down. And then this part here is all soft, and it looks like he has no articulation, but he has all the range of articulation in there. The torso movement, I can feel it. It's a separate piece right there. Then in the waist, you can feel that he can move his waist. And he has the crunch. You can feel it right there. He can crunch all the way that much. And he can hyperextend even that much, which is a lot. A lot. Look, it's a lot. Plus he's lanky and skinny. Then his crotch area by his thighs, he has the movement like so. He can move the leg all the way up this way. Back that much. And then he has the double hinge knee. And then of course in the leg, his sneakers go up, go down, go left and right. And then they also have, oh boy, I think I broke it. Yes, I did. That's terrible. That was being too rough. Ah, boy. Well, anyway, look. He does have the rocker, so be careful. That's alright, I could just get it exchanged. He does have the rocker, as you can see there. Look. See? He has the rocker. And then, let me see. And then with the peg facing this way, I don't want to break this one too, even though it doesn't matter. The figure is already defective. You can go up, down, like that. And then the hinge on the sneaker. So, fear not. Do not get afraid if that happens to you, because, to be honest with you, GameStop is pretty good with the stuff. They allow you to exchange it. They've done it to me plenty of times. So what I'll do is I'll show you here. He comes with his, obviously, the same type of stand, and then he comes with 4 sets of hands also. This one being the 2 open. And then he has the ones that are kind of, like kind of him doing getting ready to do a pose of like a spell or something. So, yeah, there you go. Uh-oh. Let me put it on the stand real quick to stand them here. That sucks that it broke on me, but like I said before, and about the first set, they kind of had that quality control that I was fearing, and this just showed you guys what I was seeing with the first set. So this is the first time I got him. I didn't think it would happen, but it did, so it's okay. I'll just get him exchanged. There is his portrait there, and there's the name, obviously, as you see, Tomura Shigaraki, obviously. And then My Hero Academia on the top, as you see there. The portrait of them on the top, really nice. Then My Hero on the side. Tomura Shigaraki on this other side. The portrait of him in his anime form in the back, as you see there. And then the rest of the figures in the line, with 22 moving parts, 7 inches articulation. So yeah, there is Tomura Shigaraki, and he's a pretty awesome figure. I mean, I know you guys saw and witnessed it break, but overall, he felt pretty good. I think maybe it's going to be based on, depending on certain figures. I don't think it'll happen to everyone, but I was being kind of rough with it, so that's probably the end result. So let's move on to the next figure. And here we have, last but certainly not least, Katsuki Bakugo, which is certainly has to be the showpiece of this first wave. He is just aesthetically pleasing. Really nice colors. Really nice deco. The motif of him is fantastic. And he also is very, very detailed, and probably looks the most accurate to his anime counterpart. Even with his sizes, of his body and his proportions. The figure looks really, really awesome. Start off with his head sculpt, as you see there. His face sculpt, right? And you see all the dressing in his hair. As you can see, the paint job of weathering. And the hair looks spiky, but it's soft. It's not hard. Then he has these effects coming out of explosion out of his head. I don't know if that's something that just happens and they draw it in the cartoon, or if that actually comes out of his head when he uses his powers. I haven't gotten into it that far. Now I believe that it's Suki here is the character and the kid in the show that is friends with Midoriya, since they were little, and he's very arrogant because he has his powers that he can blow things up. He knows how strong he can be, and he knows he can be a superhero without question because he has a very distinct and powerful quirk. And he looks really, really well, really, really good. As you can see there, with the blacks, the orange, this piece in his head that looks to be like the clip end top part of a grenade. He has the little dots there. His belt with the grenades around it in the money green. The pins going down his pants. Pouches there. His knee caps with the orange and pearlescent caps and orange on the side as well to protect his knees. Then his boots, really stylized with the strap in the front with the orange and black. And then his shoe heels are in orange. Then if you look at his arms, they're plain with a glove there on the bicep area, strap in orange on the top. And then his arm gauntlet, which is also his wrist gauntlet, is a grenade or a shell of a grenade with his hands coming out. In this case, with the green gloves and the orange at the bottom, with this beautiful blast effect. The problem is that it's heavy and his hand is very thin, so it feels like it's going to, with time, strip it so it won't stay up, as you can see. It'll stay there if you wiggle it, but you can feel that it tends to fall down. So if you move it up, he actually keeps it up a little bit better. And you see the other side as well. I took the other blast effect on this side. So the representation of him is really well done. As you can see, really good. So his head moves forward that much, back that much, left and right, tilt, very good tilt. His head popped out, popped in, there you go. Then here in his arms, if you turn around, they go down and up this much. Try to do it from here so that the arm don't feel like it's gonna break. Like so. Goes up that much, you see the weight. Keeps pushing it down. And then he has a butterfly in there that works but very, very lightly. Then he has a swivel on the bicep, double jointed elbow. Then he has obviously the movement on his wrist, left and right, and then he can move it left and right, but it's hindered by the shell piece of the grenade. And then his torso moves very well, as you see there. He has a waist swivel, really nice. Then he can move tilt to that way like that, tilt that way like this, which is really crazy. He looks like a contortionist. Then he can hyperextend back, a whole lot. and forward extend a whole lot. Then you see his crotch area, his thigh, he has a nice swivel. And on the knee, he has a double hinge ball joint. Double hinge joints on his knee. Then in the shoe, he goes up, he goes down, left and right, toe pivot, and then he also has the rocker, forward rocker pin for the rocker motion. Again, on this side, the same thing. Try to lift up. Without the blast effect, it actually feels a whole lot better with the hand. It seems like so. I don't know if that's something that I should just keep up or what, because it's crazy. Maybe like so. See what happens. So Katsuki Bakugo is absolutely fantastic. Awesome fig. He's really, really well done. Just for the arm being a little bit too limpy because of the size weight of that piece. And then, as you see here, here's his other hand. He comes with two sets of hands that are set in one position with four hands, obviously. The glove, you see, paintwork is really well done. Let's see a closer look. The actual stand, again, and the other set hand position in a more closed position with the orange at the bottom, as you see there. So there you have it, guys. Here is the Katsuki, and really the entire series of My Hero Academia. And like I was trying to tell you guys, I believe this is his friend that turns into this power, this character later on when he finds his powers. And he's always really arrogant and angry towards Midoriya, even though they grew up as friends. So I don't know if that changes because it's already been 4 seasons. Although I'm going to try to watch them just so that I know all the information now that I've kind of invested in the universe. Plus, it was pretty good. The story's pretty decent. I think it's trying to give a positive messaging to teenagers that maybe don't have a lot of confidence in this day and age. And I think it's something that a lot of us actually go through in our lives when we look back at our high school days or maybe college days. So, not a bad series wave of first figures. If he does more, I hope he ups the quality as far as the thickness, the durability, so that you won't have breakage or pop outs like we did with these. For the most part, these 3 seem to be in really good shape. So that obviously, what's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? Shiragaki. That's what I meant to say. Shiragaki. But you guys saw that his foot broke on me as I reviewed it. But again, if you get them at GameStop, fear not. They're very good with returning stuff that's defective and changing it. As long as they have it in stock, they'll even give you back your money or whatever. Because I've been dealing with figure buying there for over 2 years now, and they've been pretty good. So, not that that should be the case. No figure should break on you, especially when you pay $22.99. But I keep telling people their third subsidiary when they carry figures because it's first, Mcfarlane Toys, then Think Geek, and then GameStop. So guys, I hope you liked the review. Let me know what you think down bottom below. Leave a like, thumbs up. Leave a dislike, thumbs down. Doesn't matter. Whatever you feel, I can respect that. And let me know if you guys like these figures, if you plan on getting them. And if you don't like them, if you don't plan on getting them, also. And if you, you know, like I said, if you plan on getting them, check your local GameStop because that's where they have them. And you find them pretty periodically. They have a nice stock of all the characters of these. I don't know if it's because it's popular or because maybe people don't really buy them. Because this is targeting obviously a younger demographic as far as the anime goes. And most of those kids and teens, for what I've seen, don't really buy fakes or collectibles. They're more into the phone stuff. So maybe that's the reason why. So, good for us collectors. Let me know what you guys think. And if you ever want to help me out with anything in my channel, like to get me more content or better quality in my videos, like lighting or sound, you guys know what to do. It's all down below in the description. Remember, nothing is mandatory. It's all from your heart. And if you choose to do it, no matter what, I still love and appreciate everything you guys do for me. Until next time, guys. See you then. Thank you for stopping by. Love you very much. Bye bye.